Oh, there we go. Sorry, everybody. I was having a tech issue there. Welcome to this week's edition of Podcast Name Deferred. I am your host, Seven. I have the rest of the crew back with me here. As we get started, there was kind of some shocking news tonight that came out of a fan coming down from an outfield deck, falling 21 feet from or at PNC Park in Pittsburgh. No information is available on the condition of the fan. We are not going to show the video. If you would like to see it, it is all over the internet. It's something that I would watch with discretion. Don't show the kids. It's kind of jarring to watch. If we do find out about any update on the status of the individual, we will definitely update live during the show. I do have the Twitter feed up, and I'm kind of keeping an eye on it to see if I can find anything out. So we will report on that if information becomes available. But now let me bring in the rest of the crew. First, he has written feature pieces for MLB Trading Card Magazine, Santa Clara American, and many other publications about the San Francisco Giants, the then Oakland A's, and many other topics across baseball. He is the fabulous, the attractive Craig Newton, everybody.
Hello there.
What's up, man? Good to see you. Man, I like that Giants jersey. It's clean. That looks good.
I'm wearing that for Erica.
You're wearing it for Erica. I'm sure she appreciates it. She's a big supporter of the Giants. I mean, at least she wasn't a freaking Dodgers fan. Come up next. He is the master of all things highlight related. He is also, unfortunately, a Yankees fan. Luckily, though, he's wearing a Rose cap, so we'll appreciate it tonight. Give it up for Ambrose.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, buddy? Gene, what's up, man? Thank you for rolling through. Key, good to see you. Brandon, what's up, man? Good to see you, man. I can't wait to work with you soon. Man, a lot going on. Did the Yankees end up pulling out that game against the Orioles?
I think so. I don't think the Orioles are having a very...
No, the Orioles won 5-4 today. Holy crap. Okay.
No.
Yeah. Hey, broken clock is why it tries today, right? I'm going to talk about the Orioles pitching tonight, too, because I saw some stats tonight that were jarring, and their starting rotation is killing them right now. Finally... yes, Brandon, I talked about that to start the show. If we get any updates on the condition of the fan, we will definitely update it, but we're not going to show the video. Coming up next, she is our expert on all things women's softball, women's baseball, and unfortunately, she is also a Dodgers fan, but we don't hold it against her. Good evening, Erica. Good to see you.
Yeah, I had to go make sure I had my, because hey, just don't forget, Craig, who took back over that National League West.
You know what?
Took it back.
Wait, can I have a point of order? a Dodgers fan actually knows geography. So
She didn't always go to school in LA, so she had a chance.
I was
She- yeah, she
educated in
gets-
Oklahoma when Oklahoma actually gave a shit about education, so I have an education.
Man, there's been a lot going on this week. There's been some great baseball, lots of offense, seen some blowouts. I've been talking about it in the morning minute, just all the blowouts that have been going on. There's been some good stuff. You know, I wanted to kick us off tonight with the highlights. Ambrose, you are our highlight extraordinaire, so take us through this.
all right.
Is it gonna hold on?
Did I start with defense or offense this week?
I can't remember. Hold on. Wait, words. Okay, we're gonna try this again. Just a second. Let me bring this up. It was just working. I don't know why it stopped all of a sudden.
Now to
probably
4 hits in the game.
Nope, we got to kill that. We don't want to get in trouble. There we go.
All right, so here's the Cardinals. The Cardinals exploded against the Reds today with 3 back-to-back home runs. Out of nowhere now, it should be expected. It's St. Louis. They can't be terrible forever. So, I mean, seems like they're coming into form. The Cubs have a cold streak. St. Louis stays hot. We don't know what could go on in the Central because it's going to be a pretty tight race going down the line, I think. But they're just murdering the ball lately. This wasn't even the only highlight. I had to choose between like 3 St. Louis highlights. They were just bombing everywhere. So, yeah, St. Louis is really coming to form. And either Cincinnati got really bad or St. Louis is waking up. So that's pretty much what I have to say about that. Anyone else?
St. Louis has got a lot of work to do, but if anybody can do it, I think it's them. There's a lot of history there. It's possible.
Agreed.
Okay, so here we go. Baez, Baerga's from when I was young. First home run of the year, knocks it out with a grand slam home run. So Javier Baez is finally on the board in Detroit. Hits a pretty formidable home run for his first one. Nice distance, 4 RBIs. Can't ask for much more.
He got all of it, too.
All right.
Come on. You know what? Hold on. I'm going to pull this real quick. Give us a little better view.
Okay, so here are the Yankees coming in. Another team just hitting them in batches. There we go, out onto Utah Street in Baltimore. Another round tripper there. And speaking of the Orioles, does anyone know what's up with the Orioles pitching? Because this is just abysmal.
I can't wait to talk about that because I saw some stats today that are just kind of blowing my mind.
I mean, it's not even like they're making the Yankees look like they're just they're about to win the World Series already. I don't even know what's going on with this.
What, 15-2 yesterday, I think was the score?
15-2. Who they dropped on Easter, they dropped 24-2. It's ridiculous. Here's Aaron Judge just murdering the ball. Another one out onto Utah Street. I'm telling you, if you're ever in Baltimore and you're playing a slugging team, that standing room on Utah Street is the place to be. You will get a ball. It costs about $8 to just stand there. You still get to see the game. The food's right behind you, and all you got to do is wait for someone to murder the ball, which is happening quite frequently in Baltimore right now. And last but not least, here we go again. Utah Street was jam-packed with traffic. One more time. Ball gets fumbled back out onto the field, but it's too late. That's another round tripper. Baltimore is... I don't even know. I think they should have a graduated system with the Bowie Bay Sox and maybe switch teams every couple of years to see if that just improves things.
Ben Rice is a performer, man. I like him.
Yeah.
You got Belly.
Yep, there's Belly. Yeah. Now, if you'll notice, just to go, because there's so much going on in Utah Street, if you see on the next highlight, because I'm sure there's going to be another home run hit against Baltimore when we're doing this show, there's a broken window in that old rail yard. That's where Ken Griffey Jr. smashed it in the home run derby when they had the first All-Star game here.
And they left it.
Nice.
That's awesome.
All right, so here you go. The Marlins playing the Dodgers. Shohei Ohtani ringing in his baby boy. Knocking one in. New father. Knocks a home run in for his brand new child.
Daddy
Wonder if he put some
dingers.
money down on that.
Erica
But
calls him daddy for a
congratulations to
different
Shohei
reason.
Ohtani. I'm sure that's going to be a special moment highlight in his career. Now here we go in Seattle. We have one on the board. Jorge Polanco knocks a 3-run in off of Anaheim. Speaking of bad pitching, Anaheim isn't that much ahead of Baltimore. So
Damn
they're kind of struggling too. The other team from LA. And Polanco is doing pretty well right now. 380 average. That's his 8th home run on the year. He's doing well on all aspects of the plate. He's kind of well rounded. So if Seattle can build a team around him, we might see them do something. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to win a World Series because they're Seattle, but they might have something going for them.
Seattle's overperforming right now.
Yeah, they always do.
Oh,
All right.
oh.
Now, Miami and the LA Dodgers. Here we go. Now we're in defense. Over the wall. Great defensive play. Comes up with it. Shades of Jeter there. All right, so that was who? Conforto?
Yeah, I think so.
And then we have an over-the-shoulder catch here.
It looked like it was Teoscar.
Yeah,
Lester.
because
Yeah. And we
Matt
have a nice
Olson.
over-the-shoulder catch here from Olsen down in Atlanta. Defensive plays have really been on the upswing this year. I mean, we've been seeing really good defensive ball. When's the last time you've seen a first baseman make a play like that?
got stuck in the webbing of his glove.
Okay, this one is by request of 7. Look at this. Cue the Benny Hill music, but the Benny Hill music stops because he makes the catch.
I watched that
Behind the
live. That
bat.
was ridiculous. Oh, that catch, man.
That was
Oh, my
so
God.
ridiculous. I mean, half of that's
Dalton
talent, but the
Varsho.
other half has to be luck. Like,
Like, he's a gold glover, but at the same time, fuck you, Dalton Varsho. Like, seriously.
I think he needs to go try out for the Savannah Bananas.
That's just the Red
Yes.
Sox podcast, Banana Catch.
all right. And here we go. The Mets defense. This is going to be a long highlight. Let's just comment on it all together because the Mets are just exploding defensively. This is about 1 minute and 22 seconds long. And it is
It's
kind
also
of just
the
a highlight reel in
Diamondbacks.
itself.
Hard to do.
What?
I'm telling Martha you said that.
I said it's also the Diamondbacks. What do you expect?
The D-backs are not doing well offensively right now. Like, there's some talent on the field, but they just are not ringing it up at the plate. And it's
all.
hurting them.
Here we go. Yeah, they're just laying it all out on the field here.
That's what you want to see. With the amount of money that Steve Cohen put in, these guys should be balls to the wall, laying it out, and that's exactly what you want. I can't hate it.
Yep.
I can't hate it.
We're still not going to see Soto do that.
No, God no.
Like,
You won't see Soto do that at all.
nah, he'll do his weird dance at home plate, and yeah, you know, his weird little, what do they call it, the Soto shuffle?
Yeah.
He's got to wait until he gets that raise in 5 years before he risks injury.
So here we go. Yeah, because the Mets are the first to 20 wins. They're hitting the ball. They're pitching the ball. I mean,
Strike right at him. Good God.
if the Yankees can get everything together, can we look at a Subway Series this year? I don't think I would have thought about it last year, but
I'd prefer it was Boston and the Mets, but hey, dream big, buddy. Dream big.
okay, here we go. Jacob deGrom, 7 strikeouts down in Texas. I mean, look, to quote George Costanza, yeah, against the Athletics, but still, it was a good performance. DeGrom's been up and down the last couple seasons. It looks like he's finally coming back to form. Hopefully, he can stay healthy.
I was gonna say, hopefully he stays healthy because he's really been screwed up the last couple of years.
Yeah, so hopefully he'll get it together. because he hasn't been to back to the form he was in New York for a long time, and it looks like he's finally back. And if he can last the whole season, that'd be a big help for Texas.
And they definitely need that.
What do we have here?
Pods.
And
Padres. Oh, this is another gem pitching. I think this was
Yeah.
6 strikeout performance.
If he holds at his current level of performance, he's going to be the NL Cy Young. That's how good Pavetta's pitching right now. It is ridiculous, and I'm frustrated because he should be in Boston still.
do you ever notice that as soon as they leave Boston, they seem to be getting better?
Says the girl that's fan of the team that's playing with half of the 2018 World Series Boston Red Sox team.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm sorry,
in
what
World War
what's name is on that jersey right now? It says Dodgers, so I don't want to hear your excuses. It's like an asshole.
it would have saved us a lot of lives in World War II if all the Japanese realized they needed to do to infiltrate the country was to join the Dodgers organization.
Oh, that was good. I like that. Oh man. Okay. So let's go ahead and start with the Orioles pitching, because I want to tell you guys this. I was looking at some stats here, just kind of trying to see if I can get an idea of what we're seeing. And the first thing is Dean Kremer and Charlie Morton have an ERA of 7.04, and Charlie Morton's is 9.45. Like those are supposed to be your two of your best starting pitchers, and their lowest starting pitcher ERA is a 3, and that's Tomoyuki Sugano. Like that by itself. Sugano's the only starter with an ERA. No, I'm sorry. Zach Eflin has. I apologize. Zach Eflin has an ERA of 3 as well. But Eflin and Sugano are the only ones that have an ERA below 5. And then the other set of numbers that I noticed is when you look at batting average against, what people are hitting against the pitchers. Sugano's still 252. Kremer's a 310. Morton's a 330. Cade Popovich is a 327. Zach Eflin, the only one that's at a lower number that's closer to respectable at 215. That's
Two
ridiculous.
words for that.
Go ahead.
2 words for that rotation. Batting practice.
Mm-hmm.
It's just.
I mean, they have to do something. The only way you're going to get, you've got to pitch off of live hitters. You can't just you got to do something.
They got to get rid of Charlie Morton.
I mean, this happened with the Yankees briefly in the late 80s and early 90s. They focused on the batting lineup so much they forgot to, get things like pitching. And it doesn't matter if you're putting up 10 runs when the other team's putting up 12. So Baltimore's got to figure out how to get some personnel down there that could get that ERA down.
Yep.
Their offense isn't much better. And that's the other thing is because they should be performing, but they've only scored 115 runs this year, which is second lowest in the division. Only the Jays are lower in the East. Teams that have scored more runs than them, the Twins, the Astros, the Athletics, the Oakland Athletics. I'm sorry. The Athletics baseball organization has scored more runs than the Baltimore Orioles. And they have a better record. Athletics are playing 500 baseball right now, guys. And the Orioles can't even do that. They were supposed to be fighting for the division.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not understanding how the Orioles are down the way that they are, because they're supposed to be at the top of the division right now. At least from what everybody was saying, they should have been top of the division. So what the hell's going on?
I mean, I think what I thought would happen last year was delayed and is happening this year. And it's what happens when you have a young team. You figure out how to throw to them. You figure out tendencies. And these guys were all young. And it's kind of like in the NFL when you have a young quarterback and he comes out the pan and he throws 3 or 4 400-yard games. And then you have, tape and tendencies, and you figure out how to address them and shut them down.
Yeah,
And I think that's what happened in Baltimore.
I can agree with that.
Do they have any? I can't remember. I can't think of anybody that they have in their pipeline. Like if they were to DFA Morton, like Brandon's saying, which is a relevant question. I think Morton, you get rid of Morton, you can at least start to move things back in the right direction. But who do you put in his place? Do they have anybody in their pipeline? Is there somebody that they could trade for that would make an impact to stem the tide?
At this point, can it get any worse?
I was going to say the same thing, but I kind of just hope somebody else was going to say it.
I mean, the Rockies would say yes. So that's, I mean, there is a yes answer to that question, but what do you do, man? Like it's crazy.
I have an answer, but you guys aren't going to like it. And I don't think Rob
What's that?
Manfred will like it. There's a guy down in Mexico who's waiting to come home. Give him a call.
I mean, at this point, if you're the Orioles organization, seriously, what do you have to lose? I'm not saying that Trevor Bauer is a great guy, but
do you want a great guy or do you want to win?
I want a great guy. I would love Bauer to be back. Please. Please. Oh, God. Please.
Okay. Erica's making a Bauer movement.
Kevin said his name. It's just instant. It's like, oh, God. Please.
We're going to have to make her put a bucket under a chair when we're talking baseball.
Especially if you mention Bauer.
Her biggest conundrum would be Bauer throwing to Bellinger.
Oh,
Why do I think what?
You know what's even better? Ambrose, do you want to know what's even better?
What's that?
She's wearing her manager jersey. That's great.
That was not planned.
Oh, that's great. But no, I mean, like you're right though. Like that is the solution that theoretically should be on the table. I mean, what do? You trade Boston for Shane Newcomb and see if maybe getting him out of Boston will get him to the point where he can calm down and locate? Do you see if maybe you can get who is the other one that I wanted them? Tanner Houck. You try and trade Boston for Tanner Houck?
I mean, what do? Give the Braves everything for Chris Sale and just hope he can last until the All-Star break? I mean,
I'm man, and I'm sure I don't think the Braves would even take a phone call on that. But is there? And I don't even think, Brandon, I know you're still in the chat. Is there a pitcher in Atlanta's roster that they would part with that would actually make a better impact than Charlie Morton? Because I mean, I don't think they're parting with Bryce Elder. Grant, maybe. Hold on. Where's the stats?
I mean, honestly, we've got 2 teams that we're sitting here discussing that we genuinely thought were going to be really killer teams, and unfortunately both teams have came up either with injury or issues or just
the Braves are moving in the right direction though. The Braves are, I talked about this the other day in the Morning Minute. At that point they were 13-8 in their last 21 games after starting 0-7. The Braves are moving in the right direction. If they hold where they're at now, they will be a playoff team and break that statistic. But they have to be consistent. And that means Strider has to be locked in. Sale has to be locked in.
But that's a lot to be putting on both of them right now.
Will, go to bed.
Yeah, go to bed, Will. But seriously though, don't you think you're putting a lot of pressure on Strider considering? I mean, that is a lot to put on Strider considering.
I disagree. I disagree because he's younger, and so he's one of those guys. When he's on, he's built for that pressure. Strider is one of my favorite pitchers in the league for a reason. Now, does he still needs to get back into shape a little bit. He's still a little sore. He's just really coming back. He had a rough start. He gave up a few in that game. Like he's got a little work to do, but I think that he's got plenty of time. He'll be fine by the end of June, and that's what they need at this point.
I mean,
because they've done okay with the
Braves. I hope so. I really don't want that, but I do hope so for the sake of them.
What's the status on Nestor Cortez? Maybe they can make a play for him.
I think the Savannah Bananas waived him because he couldn't locate. But yeah, no, it's the Orioles. I mean, I know we typically try to run. We go with the old adage. You don't worry until Memorial Day. There's going to be some ups and downs. You don't worry about your team till Memorial Day. There are 3 teams right now that should be really worried: the White Sox, the Rockies, and the Orioles.
I mean, I think the Rockies are so bad they shouldn't even be worried anymore. It should just be like, They only have 4 wins
games this year. Yeah, they're on pace to win 24 games this year, and the worst season in baseball history by far.
I mean, at that point, you can't even worry. You have to just accept the situation and just be like, "This is where we are. This is where we live now." Is there a place below the cellar?
I don't know, but if Trevor Bauer's in there, I'll go find out.
Oh God, calm down. Go take a cold shower. The Rockies are 5-25. They already have a negative 77 run differential, 2-8 in their last 10. Like, this is what frustrates me about a team like the Rockies. And we'll go ahead and throw the White Sox in on this as well, because they're not much better. They're 7-22, 3-7 in their last 10, minus 30 run differential. Like, they're not scoring. They're giving up too many runs. This stuff is bad for baseball. The game is trying to come into the next generation. And we have teams that put this on the field. The A's got better this year.
Which is really shocking.
They don't even have bathrooms in their dugout.
They don't even have a place to they're just the A's.
I
They're
mean,
the A's. They don't even have a home.
I mean, the White Sox just gave up and became Chicago Bulls cheerleaders.
Those uniforms are so awful. So awful.
Oh God.
Like I honestly liked the South Side City Connects. I actually like those. Those are clean.
Yeah.
Those were some of the best. Those were the best. I didn't really like much of the City Connects. Those were one of the best looking ones.
Seriously, like I like there are some teams I get changing it, like Boston's, like the one that it looks like, according to the leaks, it pays homage to the Green Monster. So like, and that I think it's going to be cool. It looks interesting. Also kind of looks like I'm wearing a chalkboard, but also once I see it,
got Boston's last one, but unfortunately it started like Russia started invading the Ukraine at the same time. So the marathon theme was kind of lost, and everyone was like, "Is this an I'm with Ukraine thing, or what's going on?"
Yeah. No, it's. I feel like maybe they should have redesigned it a little bit sooner. They've had that for 8 years now, 7 or 8 years now. So like, it was time. But I guess we'll see what happens. But those White Sox, those new ones are just awful. I get what they were trying to do.
It looks like when you're playing the show and you're designing a uniform, but you don't know what you're doing.
Yes.
Like, that's what they did.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever that uniform is, it's the opposite of what the Giants are doing right now. Holy shit. Craig, how does it feel knowing the expectations going into the season to see how they are doing right now?
I am pleasantly surprised. I mean, Talk about a team that has pitching to trade away. It's the
Yeah.
Giants.
They do.
Our farm team is loaded. So I mean, we're sitting really pretty with our pitching, and I'm very happy with what they're doing. You know, and I'm pleasantly surprised.
19-12. They have been, a little bit of a rush path last 10 games, 5-5, two-game losing streak, but still solidly performing. A couple of games ahead of Arizona, so still definitely, half game behind the Padres. So you're one game out of that. Like there's a lot going right for the Giants right now that I don't think anybody really expected going into the season.
Yeah, but that's
City
another
Connects are kind of
organization where if
weird.
they're doing well, are you really surprised? If they pull a rabbit out of a hat. I mean, they're the
Not with
Giants.
Posey not with Posey being in the leadership position, not at all.
I stand by what I
he's a winner.
said. I stand by what I said last week. If this performance holds, that's NLGM of the year, hands down.
I have nothing nice to say about the Giants because the next morning I woke up to a broken fucking pipe, 2 cracks in my window from hail. Fuck the Giants. Fuck the Giants. Fuck the Giants. Fuck them. Fuck them.
Well, I
God.
think someone's just a little bad because the Dodgers accidentally win games and the Giants do it outright.
I mean, I don't think that we accidentally win games. It just happens to be luck that we actually win.
Little tense, are we? I mean, your garage looks nice.
Thanks. I did a lot of work
Yeah.
today.
I know. That looks really good.
I appreciate it.
Looks good.
Yeah.
All right, so we've seen more consistent reports, especially this week, about Orlando's push to get the Rays to move to Orlando. And I tasked Ambrose. See, at least I do it the other way too. I tasked Ambrose with getting us more info. What have you been able to find out from the information that's out?
All right. So, as I reported in the chat, they had $1.5 billion on Friday when I messaged. They had $1.5 billion raised. The organization has gone up to $2.5 billion now. The $1 billion allocated for a stadium, and that's just private money. So you have a lot of businesses. My computer's acting up. I had the article queued up, but my computer will go haywire if I try to move my mouse because someone stuck peanut butter on it. But it's a bunch of private ownerships. There was a guy. He's like he's a dental tycoon down in Orlando. He's fronting a lot of the money. The city of Orlando and Orange County are open to doing a public-private partnership for a stadium. So that means they're going to sell bonds. The city's going to contribute. So I think this is at this point, I think it's inevitable that this team ends up going. The preference from what I've read in the Orlando Sentinel is that they're not opposed to bidding for expansion, but expansion costs a lot more, takes a lot more time. You've got to buy your farm teams. You don't inherit the farm teams when you buy a team. So you've got to build everything from the ground up in an expansion, and it's very costly and it takes a lot of time. And depending on the league, it could be 2 years, it could be 4 years, it could be 6 years until you actually have your team in the league. So I think they're really aiming to get the Tampa Bay Rays in there. And here's the thing. I've read about baseball and I've followed baseball long enough to know that I think it's a done deal personally. And I'm speculating for anybody that might be saying legally you can't say it. I'm speculating because Pinellas County and St. Pete pulled out. The Rays aren't going back to the table. I think the Rays have been talking like many sports teams do with the Orlando Dreamers, and I think something's getting done there, and I think we're going to see them in Orlando probably about 2 to 3 seasons. If they can get out of their lease with Tropicana Field.
Craig, you've been around for some of things like this too. Does it look that way to you too? I said it some. I didn't say all. I didn't say. Do you remember when the Boston Braves moved to Atlanta?
They moved to Milwaukee, first of all.
Yeah.
But so my question to you is, with your experience in the league, does this? And do you think he's right? Does this look pretty done? What do you see?
I think John's right on, because I mean the damage to that stadium, it's going to take millions of dollars to fix that stadium, and there isn't the fan base for it. Orlando definitely have a better fan base. I think it's a smart move for them to move to Orlando, and I think it could be done. My only caveat is, and we haven't talked about this yet, but there's a strike looming next year. You know, there's a lockout looming next year. How that could affect negotiations with Tampa, how that could affect the backing of Major League Baseball, that's an unknown.
It is an unknown, but I think if they're raising this much money, I mean, I'm sure they have analysts there that are addressing that situation, and I'm people that can project what will happen should there be a strike. I mean, it's 2.5 billion raised privately, which is
That's
insane.
impressive.
The expos have been the whatever Warren Cromartie's organization is. I keep forgetting what they are. Baseball Back to Montreal or whatever. He's been doing this for 10 years. He hasn't raised anywhere near $1 billion. These guys have been going at it for like 4 seasons, and they're at 2.5 already. So they're serious. And I'm sure they're running the numbers and figuring out what the ramifications of a strike or a lockout will be. But I think it's going to happen. They already know where they're going to put the stadium. It's that far along. They're putting the stadium right next to SeaWorld. So, I mean, everything's planned out.
I want everybody to know that I was strongly considering making an Alejandro Kirk joke about that, but I'm going to let it pass and let you guys just imagine it, because it's a lot better that way. It's Orlando's a better market. And we've already talked about it a couple of times on the show. It's just a better market. And so at some point, I don't blame Tampa's ownership for wanting to leave it. I'm not speaking out against the city of Tampa. Orlando's a better market. That's where they should have gone to in the first place. Personally.
You have lodging, you have facilities. Between Universal and Disney, you will make money. They'll shell their hotels out. They have enough hotels to put money out. Disney allow access to their grounds for training. The money's there, the infrastructure's there, everything is there. And if it doesn't happen, I'm going to be very surprised.
They'll get a guaranteed All-Star game too.
Oh yeah, for sure. They will be a regular rotation. That will be something like what they do with like SoFi or something like that, where like every 8 to 10 years they get a Super Bowl, or every 8 to 10 years they get an All-Star game. Like it's because why not? I mean, it's a tourist destination. The money is just sitting right there.
I just hope the team isn't called the Dreamers.
Orlando, I could see, man, there's a lot that could go with that. You don't keep the Rays name though, because you're so much more inland. There's no really connection to Rays and Orlando. The Gators, the Orlando Gators.
I would like to see that. I love manatees, and if they're going to be next to SeaWorld, I want them to be the Orlando Manatees.
I don't think you could get away with calling them the Orlando Gators, because then there would be an issue with the Florida Gators. Just saying, I don't think you would be able to get away with that.
Nobody that matters cares about college sports.
Nobody that goes to University of Florida
care.
Need anyway.
Craig is literally the one that just turned and said it. As soon as I said it, he's like, yeah, good point. Shut the fuck up, Seven. What the fuck is your deal tonight? Damn. Craig, you want to see how tense I can really get?
Oh, jeez. Okay. But no, there's definitely, I mean, there's things that you could do. It'll
Man,
be, I mean, the Orlando, Florida men give a tweaker a good sized bag of meth, let them run around the stadium, see what happens. It's like
the Orlando Mullets.
The Orlando Mullets. Oh, that's great. Okay. Oh goodness. Okay. All right. So, we talked a little bit about this at Sports Report Sunday night. I had a video on my TikTok, we talked about a Sports Report Monday night. I had a video on my TikTok, Sunday night, Sunday afternoon, Red Sox, and Guardians game. There was a fan in the 7th inning that made, some very disrespectful comments to Jarren Duran. I kind of popped off on Monday night about it. And so I wanted to, but Ambrose and Craig haven't had an opportunity to make their voices heard on it. So I wanted to give you guys the opportunity to discuss your thoughts.
Yeah, so I'm not really familiar with the situation. Was it like racial comments? What were they saying to him?
So apparently, a Guardian fan decided to tell Jarren Duran that he should have killed himself.
Oh,
whoa!
Fuck.
In reference to the, for those of you that don't know, if you haven't watched The Clubhouse on Netflix, it's a series that just dropped, start of the season. They followed the 2024 Red Sox, and really got talked to some of the players. Reinforced my belief that Tristan Cassis is the bastard love child of Dane Cook and some poor woman. But also, Jarren Duran shared a lot about his mental health struggles. Not just last year, but in the 21 and 22 seasons when he was coming up, and the fact that he was pushed to the point where he attempted suicide. And the fans' comments were in reference to that. And yeah.
At what point do we, because I said this all the way back to when the Malice at the Palace basketball game, when people were throwing beer on the players and pretty much assaulting the players, and then people got mad when the players started beating the crap out of them. At what point do we just hold the fans accountable and say, you were being a jackass, you deserved it?
Well, to my understanding, the fan was held accountable. He was escorted out. I'm not sure if the MLB has banned him yet. Seven would probably know better.
Anything.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything about it yet.
I would really hope they ban him, because that's fucked up.
He's got to at least be banned from the Cleveland ballpark. Like that. I mean, that's at a bare minimum, but I would think the league's probably going to just say, yeah, we don't need your money.
Yeah, I mean, banning him, I don't know if like a lifetime ban isn't too extreme. I'd say at least for the rest of the season, maybe 2 seasons.
And they
make it a severe enough punishment where he'll learn his lesson.
Yeah.
But if it's like the first time the guy's done it, you want to kind of like take some things with a grain of salt. Hope he maybe had one too many beers, shot off at the mouth. He deserves punishment, but you don't. If it's the first time, you don't want to give him lifetime. I'd say maybe 1 or 2 seasons. You're not allowed in the park. Give him a cool off period, and he comes back. And if he acts like an idiot again, then you drop the hammer on him.
See, I strongly disagree.
Craig, what do you think?
That's a sensitive issue for me, because I mean, I've got a good friend who struggles with mental health, and we all know him and we love him, and that's a real sensitive issue. That's a real SOB comment to make to Mr. Duran, and yeah, I think I have no problem with him being banned for the whole season, and I have no problem if someone were to find out his workplace where he works and social shame the hell out of the guy, and let the social network do the justice that I'd like to do in my mind to him. What a fucker!
we don't want anything violent to happen to anybody, but it's important that people learn that there has to be consequences. I do agree. There's, a lot of commentary on the fact this is a product of a lot of people getting too comfortable because they spend so much time saying whatever they want on the internet. They think there's not consequences for what you say anymore. And even like when I used to do stand-up comedy, if I wanted to make a joke about a sensitive topic, I understood going into it that I had to say it the right way, or I had to be able to defend myself in the parking lot. Because it's, that's the way it works. People are passionate about those things, and kudos to the Guardians fans that called the fan out and pointed him out as well.
Yeah,
we've got to be better. We just got to be better.
Yeah.
Erica, did you have anything with this and softball stuff this week, or was for baseball? Okay.
No.
I wanted to double check. Okay. So as we're getting closer to wrapping up, before we go to our question of the week, the dumbest question on the internet, but we're going to talk about it anyway. I was like just looking at around the league. There's a couple of things that I've noticed, like performance-wise, that just baffle me. Like the Mets are just staying consistent. They have allowed the second least runs in all of baseball up to this point. They are also third or fourth. They're in the top 5, I believe, in runs scored. 7-3 in their last 10. Like, and here's the thing that blew me away though. The Mets are 13-2 at home. That's a start. That's what you want as an organization. What do you think, Erica?
Honestly, I was reading my phone. I was not paying attention. I'm sorry. My kid texted me. Can you repeat that?
I was talking about the Mets and what they've been doing. It's okay. You're fine. The other
priorities. I'm sorry.
You're fired. The Mariners. The Mariners are 8-2 in their last 10. Craig, what have you seen?
I haven't seen any Mariners games, so and then that's the American
You're on the West
League,
Coast.
so...
You're killing me, man. You're killing me.
Sorry.
Yay, me and Craig are on the same page. I love it.
Ambrose, have you seen anything on the Mariners?
I think the Mariners, I think they could be a dark horse team. I don't think this kind of baseball is going to keep up. I don't think, they're going to go 8-2 all the time. I don't think they're a 100-win team, but they're definitely a bubble wild card team. They're a team that can take it to the finish. And if they don't make a wild card, they look like they could spoil it for a lot of people hunting for a wild card. So that's what I assess looking at this team right now.
The bottom line, any team in the American League West that includes the Sacramento A's has got a shot.
They're the homeless A's.
They're the finest AAA team in Major League Baseball.
And sir, we have to use proper terminology on this podcast. We're very sensitive. It's the unhoused A's.
The unhoused A's.
I think truthfully and honestly, we just need to look past the results at this point.
Oh, that's a Mickey Loomis book of general managing right there.
And the white elephant be ridden by a hobo with like a bindle sack on their shoulder patch.
Oh God. Okay, so I wanted to get your guys' takes on this real quick. Jose Altuve asked to be taken out of the leadoff spot in the lineup so that he had more time to get back to the dugout now that he's playing in the outfield.
Grow some legs.
Wait for me.
Wait for me. I got like when I first saw this story, the first thing I thought of was that Full House thing with the baby. Wait for me, I got little legs.
I was thinking of the Ralph Wiggum where like Bart's running away from him. He goes, "Slow down, Bart. Your legs move faster than mine."
So is Jose Altuve inferring that in addition to a pitch clock, there's now be a clock for getting off the field? I mean, nothing's going to happen until it gets they all get in the dugout. So what's he worried about?
That's what I'm
Wait,
saying.
do they wait to start that 2-minute timer until everybody's back in the dugout?
Yeah, I mean, does he realize the catcher still has to take his gear off?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, he's only like 4'2", okay? He's got little legs.
I mean,
He's
I
over
know
on
he's-
the field. When he runs, he's like this. Okay? Like,
I know.
his legs are trying to keep
So
up
did a
with
lot
his
of people,
arm.
Damien. So did a lot of people. Like, no, it's like I saw that headline and I just started laughing because, like, I'm 5'8", but like I remember when I would have to go play outfield because the other catcher was behind the plate. I never had that problem. I didn't break 5 foot until my freshman year of high school, and I was able to handle it just fine. You're okay. You're okay, Altuve. You are just fine. But he's actually hitting better. Here's the counter, though. He's actually getting better since he moved out of the leadoff spot, as far as hitting at the plate is concerned. So maybe he was onto something.
It's got to be tough, man. His teammates took a group trip to Six Flags over Texas. He couldn't ride anything. He was left holding everyone's bags. All right. Like the Bugs Bunny mascot came over and thought he was a little boy and it was a birthday party. So they gave him a little birthday hat.
Oh. Okay, really quick on the Red Sox.
I mean, the green flies, the prostitutes that hang out at their ballparks and stuff, they turn him down because they go, "No, sorry, we don't do children."
Okay, so the Red Sox and Blue Jays played tonight. The Sox did lose the game 7-6, but Lucas Giolito started for the first time in 570 plus days. He actually he threw just over 80 pitches up until the 6th inning when he gave up 3 runs, which started the Jays' comeback in the game. He actually did really well. But one of the things that they were talking about was Lucas Giolito and Garrett Crochet were a part of a Chicago White Sox team that just 4 years ago, was a postseason contender.
This is you and this is me.
And now they're on pace to win less than 50 games. Just insane. If Chicago has both of them right now, they're at least 3 to 4 wins better. At least, just off of that.
Both of them and Trevor Bauer.
She just got the floor cleaned up, man. Come on.
That's your escape word. If like Erica's ever attacking you, you'd be like, "Trevor Bauer, just run."
Yep. Yeah.
Paralyzes her for
you
like
have
2
to.
seconds.
Because she's gonna have to go, and then you just that gives you like a split-second head start to get away.
Listen, I don't even think it would give you a split second. There's going to be so much fucking liquid on the goddamn floor. I'm going to trip. So, I mean, it's just the opposite here.
Oh, goodness. Okay, all right. So before we wrap up tonight, we got to have the debate. It's going all over the internet. Who would
Very
win,
important.
100 men or a gorilla? Craig, I'll let you go first.
Gorilla. Easily.
Defend your answer,
Easily.
sir.
Well,
The strength of a gorilla versus 100 men, the quickness of the gorilla, He'll turn them into little pretzels, one by one.
Wait, I have a legitimate question. Is this like 100 actual men, or is this 100 Jose Altuve men? Because I mean, when you got little legs like that, you could run the fuck away real quick, possibly. I mean, this is a serial question.
But if it's 100 Jose Altuve men, it would end up being like the Ewoks in Star Wars, and they'd end up like just.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Can I get front row tickets? I have the popcorn.
Yeah, I'm going with the
Can we
gorilla.
dress up his little Ewoks too?
Oh, all right, Ambrose, who you taking? 100 men or gorilla?
I gotta ask too. Is it like what type of men are we talking about? Like just
We'll just say average size guys.
average size guys?
Yeah, average size guys.
I mean, if you could form an attack and strategize, maybe like you need like 20 men on each arm. You need someone to chop the legs. Like you need Johnny from the Karate Kid to come out there and just like sweep the leg real quick.
How is Johnny gonna sweep the leg off of gorilla?
Listen,
I vote Trevor Bauer starts out by insulting the gorilla. I'll take it from there.
Trevor Bowers and Kenny Powers.
So hold on. 7 at this point. If this situation happens, I'm gonna need 5 buckets just for that. Because 2, because Bowers in front of me, and then 3, because he just got like super sexy and told off a gorilla. Dude, I'm gonna need like 5 buckets just for that.
Oh my God, I should not have asked this question.
I got a new nickname
Okay.
for you, Erica. Yeah, new nickname for you.
I'm scared, but
4D cells.
Hers takes way more battery. Hers doesn't even need a battery. It just plugs into the wall. She's got to have that extra power. She's got to have the full 200 volts.
So call it Trevor.
I was gonna say,
Oh, she does.
I was gonna say,
She does.
I won't. If I just call it Trevor Bauer, I may not need that little 40.
Okay, all right. So now that I have completely ruined the end of the show with this question, I would like to close. You can catch podcasts named Deferred every week right here on the Wire to Wire Sports pages. Wire to Wire Sports, you can catch a lot of great sports content every day, every evening. We've got great stuff available, regardless of what you're into. Definitely check us out. We will see you here next week, Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern, on the Wire to Wire Sports Network. Have a great day.